Welcome to the very first budget with me. So this is a new addition to the channel, and it's kind of the companion video series to the monthly budget reviews. At the beginning of every month, I'm still going to make a video that's going to review the previous month, and then a few days after that, I'll have one of these videos up that's going to show you how I'm setting the budget for the next month. So we're right now setting the budget for March 2019. And before we start off, I do want to just say that my budgeting is different. I don't do a $0 budget, and I don't really budget in the way that most people do because my budgeting focuses more on income rather than expenses, but we are going to look at both. So just as we go, I'll point out how my budgeting might differ a little from what you're used to. So getting started here, I want to look at my income, which are these categories here. So Google AdSense, that's going to be the money coming in from my channels. I will not have any of that coming in because I didn't hit the threshold. I only made 2 videos last month. I made approximately $74, but there is a $100 threshold. So in in April, when February and March pay out, I'll have, like $175 or so pay out. So let's go ahead and change this one. We'll leave the budget itself on here, but this is going to be 0. And keep watching this. This should update as we go. Second thing is paycheck. When I set this for February, it just rolls over what I put in February. When I set this for February, this was with some Whole Foods money still coming in. It was also thinking that my actual paycheck from my current full-time job was going to be, it was going to be 2 checks, which it was only 1. And with this, it's actually going to be 3 because it doesn't actually show you, but it shows you somehow that I've made $1,114 in paycheck this month. And that is not accurate at all. I don't know where that's coming from. So let's go ahead and change this because my last paycheck was $960, and I'm going to have that at least twice. So that's going to put me at $1,920. All right. And here's the thing. I'm also supposed to get paid on the 31st. I will get paid on the 31st, and unless my Mint account has a delay, which it sometimes does with it being paid on the end of the month, it may or may not show in here. But let's just say, because I did have that delay in my pay last month, let's just say that I'm going to get paid that $960 approximately times 3 this month. So that's going to be $2,880. Of course, that is after tax amount. But that's what's going to appear in my account. So that's what we're talking about here. Updated that again. Okay, so it should be updating over here. And then rideshare income. Okay, so there is a little snafu with the rideshare income. I haven't gotten paid for the last 2 weeks for it, and I found out that my boss was fired, and no one thought to tell us that. So I'm going to be straightening that out with my boss's boss tonight. They owe me a little bit for the past couple weeks. Plus, I have one person who is going to make me $140 this week with doing their rides. And I have another person who is now approved and is going to go do $200 in rides. Then I have another person who has submitted their background check and is just waiting on approval right now. So with all of that, if the rides all go together, it's going to be $540. And then any per ride bonus is on top of that, plus anyone else that I get. Plus there should be some bonuses for background checks. So I'm going to put this is more a goal, loosely based on what I think I'm going to make this month. So I'm going to say $800, and let's just check it at the next budget review and see how exactly I did, but this is also something that I'm going to be pushing for to try to get to this. Now, one other thing that I want to put on here, I'm going to create a new budget, and this is going to be for grocery delivery. And that is because I started that recently. I believe that I'm going to make probably, let's say, just roughly, let's say $50 a week. All right, so $200, not 2,000, $200. We'll see how that goes. All right, there we go. So grocery delivery, cool. Now, one other thing that I'm going to have on here that I'm not going to create an income category for right now, but I might later, is that I also am doing referrals for Instacart. And I did just have another person that completed all their stuff. So I will have another $100 bonus coming in for that. But as of right now, we're looking at mostly paycheck, a little bit of grocery, no AdSense, and the rest from recruiting for Lyft. Now, with that said, and before we get into the actual expenses here, I want to take a look at the goals. We're going to have to switch over to another page for this, but these are going to change some too. So let's actually go over to the goals tab. So last month, my goal was to save $400 toward my emergency fund. And that is because I'm doing $1 per hour worked. But what I'm actually doing this month is I'm working fewer hours. And I'm going to pop up the calculator here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in the recording, but I'm calculating. I roughly work 80 hours per paycheck, and I think that I'm going to be getting, 3 paychecks this month. So let's say 80 times 3, that's 240. All right, so 240 hours, and then I'm doing it times 2. So that's actually $480. So let's change this. Now, if it's more than this, great. But as of right now, let's just do $480 monthly, save goal, close. Okay, and then with pay off credit card, I'm continuing to pay this amount. So that's going to stay the same. Pay off second student loan. This number is going to go up, but I don't know what it is yet because the new payment amount comes out on the 15th, but I only know the total payment amount and not the amount that actually comes out for this specific loan. And then with retirement, I'm going to leave it at 0 because it does say I saved $8, but let's just leave that alone. I'm not actively contributing to it right now. And the moving fund, I'm not able to contribute to right now at all. So if we go back over to budgets, now we can actually start looking at my expenses. And car insurance is the first one I want to change. Last month, this said it went over because I think it's like $64.11. So it went over $64, said it went over the budget, but in reality, it was just that I paid the amount that I owed. So by doing it at 65, it's just going to show this as a yellow bar. Car payment is going to be the same, and gas I need to increase because I was very close to going over last month. So I just am going to increase that $20. We'll see how that goes. Bills and utilities, this almost certainly can go down because I do have the new gas bill and I do have the new electric bill, both of which are actually very low. So I think just tentatively this month, I believe that I can lower this to, let's say 175. I think I can do more than that, but I don't want to go over with what I've already paid. So 175, and then we'll reevaluate next month because I know I can lower it again. Next thing here is phone. And as of right now for this month, I'm going to leave this the same, but next month, the bill should go down to about $75 because as of the bill that comes out this month, I will have paid off the final payment of the payment plan, which was like $28 something a month. And I will have finally caught it up. So I'll save the $575 per month that I've been paying for late fees. Now, one thing that I do have to change here, unfortunately, is this. This covers both my Navient payments and they just changed this. Coming out on the 15th of this month, I'm now going to have a payment of $310. Here it is. $310.37. So let's just put $311. And I'll save that. That'll wreck my budget pretty well. Okay. And fast food, I don't think this usage so far is accurate because I didn't go through and categorize the transactions. This thing is not good at categorizing if you don't do it manually. Restaurants will stay the same. This will stay. This will also stay. I am going to the dentist, but it's supposed to be covered under my insurance, so that should be fine. Rent, I am writing the check tonight. That'll stay the same. Renter's insurance is paid for the month. That's the same. Same for storage. Business expenses, I'm not really anticipating any, so we'll keep that the same. And then clothing, I might have to buy something. I'm looking at buying a couple shirts. I am really low on t-shirts, but we'll see about that. And then with everything else, so far, I had a finance charge on a credit card. I will have to check in to see what that even is. And then rental car and taxi, that's not, it just miscategorized something. So we'll go over that when we do the budget review at the end of the month. But what I'm expecting to spend in everything else is that I have an appointment on Friday to get the wheel bearing fixed in my car. So I am expecting that to be, other than my rent, my biggest expense this month. But I do have all the money for that in my car fund. So, I don't want to lose that money, but it will get the car fixed. And that will enable me to do a couple different things like drive here and there for Uber and Lyft. It'll also allow me to leave Columbus and I can go visit mom. I haven't seen her in a year. So that's something that is going to just kind of help overall life quality, but possibly make some more income as well. So with that being the case, this is pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I don't set a budget for every particular category. I do want to, there's some stuff that's just going to fall on everything else, like the car repair, or I don't know, we'll see what else pops up this month, but there are things, I don't make a budget for them up here unless it's something that happens just about every month. So with that being the case, I thought actually that this was going to be a pretty tough month, but it looks like I might actually be okay. My biggest struggles this month are just going to be to limit my grocery, fast food, and restaurant, especially the latter two. That's going to be a struggle. I got to really work on that. And then other than that, I should be fine. I'm going to have $995 left over. Now, some of that's going to go to extra credit card payments. Some of it's going to go to, I don't know, we'll see. Probably mostly extra credit card payments. But the one thing that I do want to point out here is that for next month's budget, April's budget, there are going to be a few things that are going to be better. This is going to be much lower because most of these are paid off now. There just won't be that much to pay, and I'll be current with them by that point. This is going to drop again, the mobile phone. And then thought there was one other thing. I don't know what it was now, but the other thing is that this all will be increasing next month too. But we're only worried about March right now. So anyway, guys, we're looking at just short of $1,000 profit for this month. Most of it, again, it suggests what you can use it for, but according to this, it would be, if I put it on my big credit card, it would be paying it off almost 5 years sooner. Not going to do that, actually paying off the smaller one. That's my goal. And that's where all my overtime pay has been going to. So I will try to remember to go over it next month's budget review, but you'll see the balance of it has been decreasing quite a bit. So anyway, I hope you guys like the new thing that we're doing here. And if you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see added to it, or if any suggestions at all, let me know down in the comments. I'm not going to do a $0 budget. I'm there, and I'm not that familiar with any other type of budget. This is just the way that I do it, which is more of a guideline and very much based heavily on income planning rather than expense planning. So I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys hope that helps a little bit to understand how things turn out at the end of the month, that this is how they begin at the beginning of the month. So this will be a monthly series from now on, and let me know what you think.